Hey everyone, I don't know if you can hear me. We've had some tech issues this morning. I was supposed to go live with a Mythical Goddess Tarot reading just a few minutes ago, and right now I'm just getting on, so I apologize. We had some issues we thought we had figured out. But we're here, and it is solstice, and I'm going to see if I can ground myself because I like to be ready for y'all. We're talking about solstice being this time of the light coming back. There. We've got some folks here. I'm so happy. Thanks for being patient with me this morning or afternoon. Um, we are going to bring you some conversations with the goddesses from the Mythical Goddess Tarot this morning on this solstice energy of 2020, December 21st. And I have been tapping into this energy since the new moon and the solar eclipse that came in around the mid-month 14th. And I have to tell you, I'm excited because there's more light coming. I can feel it. I hope you can too. It really is time to let go of our baggage of 2020, to let go of all the suffering that we've had in us and around us and everything that's been triggered in every part of our lives that has been challenging. So if you've had heaviness and if you've had challenge going on, I encourage you to know that we have a new energy coming in, and right now is the time to lean into how big you can dream. What do you really want? What energy do you need to move into this light, to have joy again, to have peace, to have harmony? I've had a real big shift with this energy as we've come in. I've gotten really excited to know that we have a new cycle and that there's greater hope. And I feel like this word hope has been a challenge for us to find in 2020. So I'm glad to see you all joining. I'm going to throw some cards to give us an insight of what this solstice is all about as we enter it. It's the darkest energy before the dawn, and then the light begins to come back and get brighter and brighter and brighter every day. So I'd like to see that as just a theme for us moving into our next cycle, and a blessing for each and every one of you as we do this. So I'm going to throw a 15 card spread, and as we do this spread, it's going to give us insight of who we are as we enter into this cycle of solstice. The very special meaning of the return of the light. And how do we work with that energy to help bring us into the next 28 days and then into the next year of 2021? To bring in more light with everything that we are doing, to feel it, to sense it, to have it clean us out. So I'll say before I pick a card, know that if you have anything you want to let go of, any old patterns, that it's time for you to write those down and do a little fire ceremony today or tonight. You could join me at my solstice ceremony online tonight if you want to go to KatherineSkaggs.com and do some ceremony to let go and then to get really clear on your focus about what you desire and to lean into that to get all that you need to move forward. So the first three cards in this spread are cards that talk to us about who we are as we show up at solstice, who we are as we let go of the past and move into our new cycle that promises hope and new light and new ways of being and an expansion through the light. So right at the center is the Mother of Fire, regeneration. And she is a Kundalini card. She is about the fire coming through to purify. And she tells me that we have been moving into a place where we really can come into the light through a lot of fires in our lives. All these challenges are really opportunities to purify our ego, to purify suffering that we've held in our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our souls. And that she's an indication is that we are ready to move into greater awareness through fire, through light, into an expanded version of ourselves. She tells me that we're ready and that we have been purifying already. Another card that is about who we are as we enter this new cycle is the Seas card, the Five of Seas cleansing. And it shows five frogs here, which are an ancient divine feminine symbol of cleaning away our emotional bodies. Now, because this sits in the first three cards, it tells me that we have been doing some cleansing emotionally. And that's really important for us to move into the new cycle, to really honor our emotional transformations, to honor the purifications that we've gone through in the last 28 days, let alone the last year, so that we can really entertain the focus of our heart's dreams, so that we can really lean into our true desires as we shift out of these old ways of being. We've also got a card that keeps showing up recently, and it is the Maiden of Seas, which is the seas are the emotional suit. They're all about the heart, how we feel, and this is passion. So it tells me all of us are much more passionate about our new beginnings and entering into this celebratory time of solstice, this ancient way of being, to truly celebrate coming into the light and to do so with our heart's passion. What joy can you bring tonight to celebrate this new cycle, this new promise, and to blend that energy of your heart with all your hopes and dreams that you want to manifest in the coming month and the coming year? So that's a pretty good start to know who we are. It tells me we've already come a long way just in the last couple of weeks, and that we have a lot of new things at hand for us as we come into our new cycles. So the next three cards are about, what are we really looking at for this overview of solstice and this next 28-day cycle, this cycle that takes us into the new year with lots of hopes and dreams. And these alignments with the Christmas star, these planetary alignments that promise us an awakening and enlightenment as part of this energy today that's taking us to our new cycle. And one of the cards at the very center of the overview, it's actually looks like a negative card. It is the Seven of Seas, denial. And for that to be in the overview in that particular position, I like to think that this is what we're working on clearing away emotionally. All the places that we've denied our emotional pleasure, all the places that we've been asleep. This is literally looks like a woman on what I painted as the raw night boat of the Nile, meaning it's like this woman's in a trance and she's emotionally wounded and has kept her from really living all of her life and being fully engaged emotionally. So that's a sign for us to know that this next cycle is about attending to all these places where you've denied yourself emotionally, where you've kept yourself away from joy and pleasure, where you've been lost in emotional suffering or disconnected from yourself because of trauma. So be gentle with yourself, but invite the light into your heart right now and get what you need. Ask for what you need emotionally. Admit that you get to get it, that you can have that, and that you can restore that now, because this is up to be restored, to be replenished emotionally. And that will help replenish the rest of our lives. One of the other cards is the mental suit, the wind, which is the maiden of wind. And as you notice, it's this maiden warrior woman who's on top of this red tail hawk with her bow and arrow focused very intently at what she truly desires to capture. And that's part of what we need to do as we clean our hearts out. We need to focus on what we want. The only way to get to what we truly desire is by clarity, to know what you want, what you don't want, but then to give all your attention and mental focus to that desire, to clean out the worry mentally, to clean out the distractions, to not go to war, but to actually just be very clear that you can have what you want and that you begin taking step-by-step movement on it as you get clear focus, that it aligns up the energies and the universe begins to respond to you, that every time you bring your attention back to that focus, it responds vibrationally. And next to that card is another wind card, which is the crone. So you've got the maiden and the crone here, the one who dreams up and focuses on her desires, and the wise woman crone with this Aquarian energy who's got an egg in her hand that promises the hope of this new future and this new vibrational way of being, that we're aligning up with an entirely different way of being within ourselves, and that gets to manifest in our world. So it tells me with your focus and cleaning yourselves emotionally, it is time for you to lean into the vision of an entirely new way of being, to drop the seeds of hope, to be connected to your higher selves and to the divine, and to know that you can bring that higher vision to earth by clarity of focus and by truly honoring the wisdom of these new ways of being. I call it spiritual technology. That we've had a lot of technology come into our lives over the years, but this is like the higher frequencies of spiritual technology to come all the way into our DNA and so that we can experience it in the physical realm. So have big hopes and dreams as you come into this new cycle. Write your intentions down. Be in your heart spaces. Clean away any doubt or worry. And stay focused in all the ways that you know how. I love ritual and ceremonies, so I'm always going to recommend that every day you get up and you give focus to your hopes and dreams, that you bless it, and you create a ritual, a habit, a ceremony for yourselves that assists you in truly acknowledging and expanding that energy. All right. So, what are our lessons and the challenges that we have that come with this new light coming in this new cycle? These are the places of our learning so we can truly be wise and transform out of the old way into the new way. And, the fire card started out with the mother regeneration. So we have some fire medicine on hand as we hit this new cycle. And one of the challenges that comes up is the fire card expression. It's the Eight of Fire. And fire symbolizes our spirit. It's that fiery energy that helps us create from the spiritual to the physical world. It's our passion. It's the way we can embody that spiritual essence and bring it into form. And when I see this card here, it's got a Sagittarius influence, and the original painting is named Dance. And this fire medicine's coming in to tell us our challenge right now is to truly embody the passion and the energy of what is complete dance medicine. How do we embody the joy through our journey of bringing in the light? So she gives you an opportunity to really invite that medicine of dance into all of your lives. How creative can you be in the way that you bring that fire and passion through your very loins, through your own body into form? So there's some action you can take, even though this is the challenges, is to move. It's to think of your hopes and dreams and to dance, to lose your mind, to get that spirit through your physical self and to embody it into a form that is a trance dance, a spiritual expression of your hopes and dreams. And to know that you move, that you literally move them in a way that brings joy to yourself. And that can be challenging when you don't feel like moving, when you're tired, when you're going through these transformations. But I highly recommend, light a campfire, get out and dance around the fire and celebrate yourselves. Celebrate what is coming into you right now. The next card is so perfect for solstice. It's Amaterasu. And she is the Shinto goddess, the sun card in our deck, the divine feminine aspect of the sun. And there's literally a story of her that I've told many times of going into the cave when she's upset with her brother, the storm god. And this is a tale that really reflects the time of the darkening of the world, where when the sun goes into the cave, the whole world goes dark, and all the gods and goddesses are very upset about it. And they don't know what to do because the world's dying. And it's a symbol of winter. It's a symbol of the time when we go through a dark period and we don't know how to bring the light back within ourselves or in the world around us. So with her appearing here with solstice, it tells me that she's beckoning us to look for the light within, to look for the light within all our challenges, to look for the light within the new cycle, to truly find the lightness within ourselves, that we may bring it back into this entire new cycle to support us in being illuminated, to support us in being enlightened, and to support our entire world in making an incredible shift that allows us to operate in greater light. You know, part of Amaterasu's story I cannot tell without mentioning the lesser goddess Uzume, who is the goddess of laughter and mirth. And literally, she is the one who was able to get Amaterasu out of the cave. She danced around the campfire and upon a great drum in great silliness and irreverence, and actually some lewdness as she did a striptease, entertaining all the gods and goddesses who had been terribly in their suffering and fear that the world was dying. And as they began to move their attention off their fear, they became more lighthearted and they laughed outrageously at the fire and they forgot about their troubles. But the cool thing is that as they laughed and they made merriment, one of the things that happened was Amaterasu could hear them within the cave. And pretty soon she needed to come out because she couldn't stand it that she wasn't part of the merriment. And she returned to bring the light as it is promised to us with this solstice. So I think this is a great sign that our divinity or higher selves know that it's time to come back into the light and to bring it into every part of our lives. That however you're challenged every day, see what you can do to focus on the light in all ways possible and to bless all of your lives with some sort of light from within and all around. Now, the next part of the challenges is a card that signals the changes that we're in. It's the cycles card on Earth. And the good news is that we are constantly in cycles, that no matter what's going on, it will change. And that the solstice is reminding us that we're moving from one cycle to the next. And our challenge here is to let go of the past in our physical lives, to honor it for what it's taught us, to take all the good out of it, and then to compost the things that don't work so that we can move on to this new cycle, this new possibilities, and to springtime and to the return of the light. So honor yourselves in all that you've gone through in the last month or the last year or the last several cycles so that you can take all the good from it, find the light and the good and the wisdom, and then let it go as you refocus in your heart to your true hearts and desires and focus through gratitude to see what has been given so that we together as humanity can collectively move forward. But we all need to do our own work to let go of the last cycle and to begin to embrace the new cycle that's coming and to move into it with greater potential and possibility in our heart spaces and in our minds. Okay, the next three cards have to do with our action. And what do we need to do as we hit solstice here, we move in the new cycle? And again, we've got more fire. So that light on earth is right here. This is the courage card. This is a woman who is feeding a fierce lion, giving it an offering. And it's very symbolic of us needing to fill our hearts with courage right now, to face the things that seem most challenging and possibly deadly, and to offer up some love, to give an offering of peace, to give an offering of some nourishment to what frightens us, to actually shift it, to be courageous enough that we make the change that brings greater peace. Now, we put some symbolism in these cards for some flower essences that can support you, some plant medicines to help you have a more courageous heart. Now, if you're open to working with plant medicines, you may try some either herbal remedies or flower essences that are vibrationally connected to the power of courage within the heart to open it. Now, sunflower would be one of these essences, as well as borage. They're two medicines that you can work with to start helping your nervous system. and to helping your spirit to be in the physical realm, that you can truly move into greater light within your heart and be very courageous in all your actions to act on your heart's desires and to let go of the fear of the past to help create the change that you desire. Another card that's here, that's an earth card that's talking to us, is another Capricorn energy of bringing heaven to earth through the earth suit. And it shows a woman with all her chakras spinning with these rainbow colors of the chakras, bringing in the energy from heaven to earth. And if you notice, she's dancing. So I see that connecting to the dance card, the expression card in the challenges. And again, it's telling us to go for it, to think about our hopes and dreams, to get excited and bring them into our emotional body, and then to take action. What is joyful action? How do you create and take simple actions that are very joyful where you truly want to dance and bring in everything in your hopes and dreams to earth? So make your action and your work joyful so that you never work, that it's always an act of love, and to bring all those hopes and dreams down to earth. All right, the patience card also sits in the area of our action. And this is a mental card. So it tells me, and she showed up not too long ago, she is actually about expansion, but with balance. She's got Jupiter in Libra. And you see this pregnant woman that's naked here with all these stars and heavenly energies coming into her. And what she tells me is that we are pregnant with all our true hopes and desires. This new cycle is upon us, and that it is full. It is full of possibility and potential that's already forming, and it's about to hit the physical. That we need to really be present mentally. We need to be present and patient and know that everything that we're asking for is coming to earth, that we're about to give birth anytime now. But there's no need to worry in a linear manner. Just be present and you'll know when each part comes into fruition, you'll be able to birth it as you don't live in the past and you're not too far out in the future, but you're just right here, right now, that it's all coming. And with her being naked in the card, it tells me she's very honest mentally and she understands the expansion that's taking place. And she's also open to receive that everything is here and now and the promises are being fulfilled. So I think that's really important to take action on by, first of all, admitting that what we've asked for is coming and that we're able to open to receive it. I think that for this new cycle to truly come to fruition for each and every one of us, for greater unity, for greater hope for all of humanity, for our planet, for our personal lives, is to practice this place of admitting that we get to be in pleasure again, that we get to have, that things are being purified, and that we get to truly move into a place of letting this good come to us. So focusing on the good, focusing on the light, and saying yes to it. And then moving beyond the fears, purifying them. That really is a key that's being asked of us right now. All right, so what is the outcome is for the solstice reading today and for our true hearts and desires to come to us. We've got some really cool cards here. We've got Crow Woman again showing up, Sacred Law. She's also a card of balance between our inner spiritual selves and our physical lives. And she promises that what is ours is coming to us. What is ours spiritually is coming to us to manifest in our physical lives, to look for the magic, to be the shapeshifter, to shapeshift out of the old, and to truly be present to the mystery. So this is an outcome card. So it tells me this is what is happening for each of us to come into the mystery, into alignment of our spiritual truth, alignment with spiritual laws, that we can be in integrity between heaven and earth, or between our spiritual essence, why we are here, and what we truly desire to experience of being here now at this time and with humanity, this time on earth, and all the transformations that are taking place. So it tells me, look for the magic as we unfold this next month. Look for the mystery and the synchronicities. Let go of the past so that you can truly move into that place of mystery of spirit, living in every single being on earth, living within all of the fabric of your life. That there is a spiritual woven magic that is here for you right now, and that is coming into fruition for you to experience in a much more in depth and profound way. I think this is speaking to the enlightenment of many. So we have a maiden and a crone card of earth here too. So this tells me these are the things coming into the physical where we can experience them. And the maiden is the card of beauty. And if you look at her, she is all about the beauty of the physical world. She's again a Capricorn energy and very grounded energy. So it tells me over the next cycle that we are moving into a greater experience of the beauty in our physical lives, and how important that is to truly honor that as sacred and honor that in all ways possible. To see the beauty of the earth, to see the beauty of every form on the earth, all the creatures, all the plants, all of humanity, to look for the beauty. And that as we go through this cycle, we're going to be able to find that more greatly. I think this also speaks to the changes we're making with climate and with how we care for our land, our water, our air, is that this is really important for us to have good food, to have good water, and that as we honor the beauty of the earth, that we're going to come into greater balance with what is being offered to us for our health and our well-being and our happiness. And beauty is a very important thing. So the crone ascension, the crone of earth, is also in the outcome. And as I look at her, she reminds me that we are here to bring heaven on earth, and our ascension is not one where we're not grounded. It's actually one to awaken our light bodies and to experience that in physical form. It doesn't mean that we're just going to ascend and leave our bodies. It's like we're bringing that energy here into this dimension to awaken a new reality. So it tells me that this being in the end cycle is that this solstice is truly activating some energies that help us to hold more light in our physical cells, as well as all of our energy bodies, illuminating our light body, awakening greater consciousness. So honor that within yourselves, honor that within your life and where you see it, and continue to open to receive that energy. You know, one of the things I said on a call the other night that I'd like to honor now too is as you go through these changes and you're awakening into more consciousness, you may experience something that you might consider a flu-like symptom, but it's not the virus, it's not the flu. It's the ascension flu. It is symptoms that come from changing your vibration, that your physical body and your energy bodies are aligning to a greater sense of light. And as you go through that, it detoxes your energy, ultimately detoxing your physical self. So headaches, exhaustion, all those type of symptoms, confusion, can be linked to you going through a great transformation, both spiritually and physically. So make sure to get plenty of rest during this celebratory season and this new cycle. If you need to sleep, get a good sleep in there. Take some sea salt baths to purify your physical self, both with sea salt and Epsom salts in your baths. Take time aside to reflect and to meditate, to take a walk in nature, and realign with possibility, hopes, and dreams in your inner world as well as all of your physical world. And you will find that you're going to come into a greater sense of peace once again as we move into the new cycle, and that you can hold more of that energy no matter the changes going on Earth. So my name's Katherine Skaggs. It's solstice, December 21st, 2020. And this was a Mythical Goddess Tarot reading to support you in making some changes and coming into the light with great support. And knowing that you're not alone, that there's many light beings here supporting us and many of us on the path together, and that we are here to support you. So thanks for listening in, And I look forward to seeing you in the near future. And if you want to, come join me at katherineskaggs.com and take a look at the solstice event this evening. It's also on my Facebook page. I'd love to see you there. Lots of love to you. Bye.